What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and I'm here back again today with another video for you guys. And today in this one, we're going to actually be doing something that I saw as a suggestion on my YouTube ideas section of my Discord server, which if you don't know, I have a Discord server. It'll be down in the description below if you want to join. And I am going to be making a beat without using any sound at all, so I'm not going to be listening to it. I'm only going to be listening to the beat at the end of the video. So basically, this is going to test just how well I know my stuff, just how well I can do everything without my ears, without these bad boys right here. So yeah, this should be an exciting video. It might go horribly wrong, but it might, actually turn out somewhat, perhaps decent, maybe. But yeah, either way, I think it's gonna be a fun video, and we're gonna have a blast here today on this channel. So before we get into this one, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and on SoundCloud. Those will be both down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produced, and my Discord, as I mentioned, and also my beat store, which I have been uploading beats on my second channel, which I will link down in the description below for you guys as well. If you're interested in hearing, a lot more of my beats, a lot of them will be on there, so you can go check those out if you want to. And yeah, now let's get into this video. So we are in FL Studio now, and we will not be needing these bad boys today until the very end. So I'm gonna put them up over here, and we are going to get into this beat making bonanza. So I think it's probably logical that we start off with what will probably be the most complicated part of this video, which is the melody. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a little plug in here, a little Spitfire Audio Labs. So with Spitfire Audio Labs, usually what I do is I bring the volume up a little bit like this. Also, I think I should mention for some of you guys that you'll be able to hear the sound, but I won't be able to hear the sound because I have my headphones plugged in, but my headphones are just over there. They're not on my head, so I can't hear it, but you can. Anyway, so with Spitfire Audio Labs, I'm gonna use the soft piano, and when I use the soft piano, usually what I do is bring the volume up like I showed, and then I'll also bring the reverb up a little bit, and then I'm going to X out of this. I'm gonna change the tempo also, so I'm gonna bring it down to like, let's go with like 88. 88 is a good round number there. Alright, so now that we're in the piano roll, I'm going to go to helpers, scale highlighting, and then I think I'm just gonna go with E minor.
Yeah, E minor, alright, yeah!
And then I'm just gonna start building some chords. So I'm going to just go with the one chord at first, which would be the E, I want to try to do something fancy so that it's more complicated, but at the same time I kind of don't. But I'm just gonna start out with some simple chords. So we're gonna have an E minor 7th chord, and then I'm going to make a D major 7th chord. Actually, I'm gonna make a D major 1st inversion chord, and then I think I'm just gonna add this note up here. And this might all sound horrible because I could just do, basic little major chords, minor chords with no 7ths or anything like that. And that right there would be complete weak sauce and boring. And those are two things which we do not tolerate around here. So we have our first two little chords, and then I'm gonna bring in another chord. This one is gonna be down lower. And this is going to be like a 7th chord. Also, I am going to move this over too, just so that we have, just a simple little vibe going on. I think I'll just do one of these little bad boys. So now we're going to have a B minor chord with this one. And then this is going to be, actually, I think I'm going to add this here. And now I'm just going to select all of the bass notes. So we got our 4 little chords here. And now I'm going to just do Control and then down. And then I'm going to do Alt and then scroll down on the scroll wheel. And now we have, our little bass notes there for the melody. And now what I'm going to do to, give it a little bit more spice is do Alt S. And now it'll strum these chords, but not too much. And then I'm going to do Alt R. And then it'll randomize it, but I want a little bit less randomness. The thing with the soft piano that I definitely remember with Spitfire Audio Labs is that the piano does not have a lot of release/decay on it, so you kind of have to select all of these and drag them all like basically to the next chord so that they don't like stop too soon. So yeah, I'm glad I remembered that before we ended up with like a weird like half chord progression thing there. So now the hardest part of this all is going to be the counter melody. So similar to probably about 99.9% of you watching, I do not have perfect pitch, so I wouldn't be able to just come up with a melody in my head and then bring it to life on the screen as I would normally do. So I'm basically just going to go out on a limb here and just do a little bit of the little melody here. So I'm going to do a little something like this. And the way that I think I'm going to figure this out is by playing it and then like kind of visually seeing what the rhythm of the counter melody would be, if that makes sense. And then hopefully from there I'll be able to get some sort of like decent rhythm at least, even if I don't know the actual notes of the counter melody. So basically it's going to be like chord, bring, chord, 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 So I'm thinking I kind of want it to be like chord, and then that note right there, and then another one, and then I want it to probably go down or maybe up. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I am going to adjust the velocity of these so that they're like pretty normal. And now I think that I want this next note to be kind of offset here, so I'm gonna put it like here, and then I'm gonna put the other one here, matching up with this little F sharp note. And now, hopefully this will sound, you know, somewhat not horrible. Also, I'm gonna stretch these out so that they, you know, reach each other. And then also, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a craziness here, and I'm going to do like a descending little like piece in the chords here. Something like this. Just a pretty standard, so that it like transitions from one thing to another. And that might sound horrible, who knows, but I'm just gonna put it in there. I'm gonna go up here for it maybe. I'm gonna do another one of these notes. I'm gonna go like this. And hopefully this sounds good. I honestly have literally no idea. Alright, so now that we have this, I'm going to copy the melody over, and then I'm just going to make like a slight little variation. I don't even know like specifically what I'm going to do. I think maybe what I'll do for this is I'm going to do like a little bit of like an ascending instead of descending pattern. So I'm going to bring this up, and then make this go down, and then maybe put that there, and then put this here, and then maybe put this one up higher, and then do this like down like that possibly. Oh no, I think what I want to do is I want to do like this, because usually at the end when I have like a set of 3 notes where it's like one note, a lower note, and then it goes back up to that same note, it sounds pretty good, I think. So I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, I think that should be fine. I think that should achieve what I'm trying to achieve here. I think maybe I'll just add like a couple more of these on the bottom here, because that's kind of what I did with this one, so I might as well like repeat that similar pattern. Alright, so we have that there, and then I'm gonna copy that over here as well. So I did just like this, I think, right? Alright, so we just completed this entire melody without listening to it. You guys are gonna hear it, but I'm not, so here you go. I don't know what it sounds like. Dope, that was epic. So, as you can hear, sounding great. Maybe. Now that we have that, I'm gonna add a couple more instruments. I think I'm gonna go into expand perhaps, and then I'm gonna add maybe some strings or something like that. Actually, before I bring the strings, I'm gonna bring in a little harp here. I think I'm gonna just do the regular harp, and then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do like a little arpeggio kind of thing here, or like a little strum, I guess you could say. I think maybe like this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Control L. And then basically I'm just gonna kind of do this same thing with all the chords. Just copy this little like kind of arpy thing. Okay, so now we have that, and then maybe I'm gonna do like one that goes like this too, and see if that sounds good. So yeah, I'm just gonna copy this over like that, and then I think I'm just gonna add like a little bass note at the bottom of these. So I'm gonna go down here and then lower the velocity, and then I'm gonna lengthen these a little bit, and then I'm gonna copy them over. So now we have kind of 2 little bass patterns going on, so this should be a little bit fuller. And then I'm just gonna do Alt-R again to randomize these, and then hopefully this will sound good, but I'm not really banking on it. And so now I'm gonna go back into expand, and I'm gonna grab some strings from there. Now this is gonna be a problem because I don't exactly know which strings preset that I like the best. I know this one, these little spiccato ones are like, you know, short little hits, and I don't really want that. I want kind of like a longer one. Maybe just to play it safe, I'm gonna go with the spiccato ones because I know those are gonna sound good. So yeah, we're just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna copy this over, and now I'm going to get rid of the top melody because we don't need it for this, because this is just gonna be like a little supporting character for our melody here. And I'm gonna get rid of this as well. And then these are gonna be short, so I'm gonna extend these ones. And now I'm gonna do Control, select all these, and then I'm just gonna pull this back till maybe like right. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna do it like, this is fine. That'll be fine. And then I'm going to copy this over. Maybe let's do something like this. Let's copy this little pattern, and maybe this will trick your ear into thinking that counter melody that I made with the piano is actually good or something. I don't know. And honestly, this is looking pretty sufficient as far as melodies go, but I think I might want to try to add like one more sound or something, maybe just another layer for the piano or something like that. So I'm gonna bring in a little Tapex vibe, and then I'm just gonna pick one of these, and honestly I don't really know what's gonna sound good because I haven't used this plugin in a while, but I think either one of these other room presets sounds good. I don't remember which one. I think it might be the other room 2. So we're just gonna bank on it being other room 2. And if it's not, that is really gonna be unfortunate. But I'm going to copy this and then I'm gonna paste it. And now we have 2 little layers for the piano. And I think this is pretty much what I'm gonna do for the melody. I'm going to play it as it is without any mixing or anything like that. And you guys are gonna hear it. Hopefully it's not gonna make all of you cringe. So yeah, that was that, and now I'm gonna select all these, do Control L. Now these are all on their own mixer tracks, and I can kind of see a little bit better what everything is sounding like, you know, from a, you know, visual volume standpoint. So I can see that this Tapex thing is really loud, and I want the piano to kind of be the main focus, so I'm gonna bring like pretty much just everything down, but I want the piano to be the loudest. So I'm gonna take this Tapex thing and I'm gonna push it stereo, significantly more stereo than everything else. And then these are the strings. So with the strings, I'm gonna make it a lot wider. Right now, I'm not gonna put really any effects or anything on these. I'm just going to level them out a little bit and add a little bit of stereo. This is gonna have more stereo than the piano, but it's kind of gonna be like a little bit in the middle. So this is kind of in the right ear, I think. So I'm gonna push this into the left ear. Hopefully that doesn't like mess up the sound or anything. The harp looks like it's in the left ear, so I'm gonna do it to the right a little bit. So yeah, I think this should suffice for now. I'm just gonna lower these volumes. And now I'm gonna add some drums. I think I'm just gonna go with some trusty old drums that I know will work. I think I'll go with this Molly Raw hi-hat. This one will probably be fine, I think. This one will suffice. And then I'm gonna do that because otherwise it's gonna sound horrible. For the 808, I'm just gonna use this one here. Shout out to Nicholas Mira for that one. And then I'm going to do a little open hat. This one's a pretty basic one. Oh, I think I'll do a little Zaytoven snare. Okay, so the Zaytoven snare you're thinking of is the one that sounds less like a snare. I know that for sure. I'm gonna do that one. That one will be fine. I think I'm gonna do this Jetson made rim. We're gonna have that going on, and these are gonna be our drums. So I gotta make sure to check this 808. I'm gonna turn off the loop points, and then also, this is just a pet peeve of mine. I don't think it actually affects anything, but I like to turn up the sample start and then turn up the trim. And then also I'm gonna do this right here. And then I gotta make sure that I turn on cut itself, because otherwise it'll sound horrible with the 808s. So I'm gonna, before I even do anything, I'm gonna assign all these to a mixer. And now I'm gonna get to work on this little drum pattern. So to start off with the basics, we're gonna hit them with the clap here, and then I'm gonna hit K, turn up the velocity, and then we're just gonna do a simple little 2-step hi-hat. But I'll make some more rolls and stuff, hopefully with that later. And then I'm gonna do this with the Jetson made rim. And then I think I'm gonna do this like here, and then I'm gonna do that there. And then I'm going to do boom, boom, and then boom, boom. And then this would be. Okay, hopefully that sounds the way that I'm hearing it in my head. I can usually do a pretty good job with drums, like just seeing the rhythm like in the channel rack, but you know, perhaps my memory has failed me on this one. And now I'm just gonna put these where all the bass notes are. So this one's gonna be at E, this one's gonna be at E2, and then these ones are gonna go up to F sharp like that. And now these ones drop down to C and B. So bring them on down. And then this one's gonna go to B. And now I know that those are gonna sound pretty low, so I think what I wanna do is I wanna pitch the whole thing up possibly like 2 semitones. And 2 semitones is gonna put it in the key of F sharp minor, which is the key that I, you know, tend to work in a lot. So I think just because of that reason, I'm gonna put it up 1 more, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. I'm not gonna, you know, like manually do that because there's a way that you can do it really quickly once I separate everything out. So we have this going so far. I think that's pretty much good. And now I'm just gonna add the hi-hat in here. That's how I'm gonna do it like that. And then I'm just gonna do it probably in front of all of these, to be honest. That's gonna be in front of all the claps there. there. Now I'm gonna do a couple little hi-hat rolls. I think for the hi-hat rolls, I'm just gonna keep it simple, and I'm gonna do like a little roll after every clap or something, or after every other clap maybe. So I'm gonna do this one here, and then I think for the next one I'll do like one of these thingies, and then I'm gonna copy this over again over here, and then I'm just gonna do this like that, and then I'm gonna do this kind of just like a little descending hi-hat pattern at the end there. So hopefully this sounds good. I'm also going to go in here and then just put a little shift on it, because that'll just, you know, give it a little more humanly feel. So yeah, that is that, and that's pretty much like the whole beat done, except for like the mixing portion of it. So I'm gonna separate all these out. So what you can do that is just do split by channel, and now we can click on the top one, hold down shift, and then click on the bottom one, and now I can drag it all into the little playlist. And I'm going to go to the mixer now, because I want to kind of fix up some of those drums, because I know those drums aren't sounding right as it is right now. And most of the time I can mix my beats just by looking at the audio levels and stuff, but there are certain frequencies that you can't like EQ out if you need to, or you know, like if there's certain clashing going on, you can't like pinpoint where it's going on at. So hopefully, let's just like hope and pray that that's not happening. Oh, also I almost forgot that I need to transpose all these. So basically the way you do that is that you just click the top one, and then you hold down shift, click the, you know, all the way up until whichever one you want to change, and then you can just do right click and then transpose, and now I'm just gonna do up one, and now all these should be up one. As you can see here, it's on F now instead of E, and now it'll give it, you know, just a little bit of a different vibe. I'm gonna turn the 808 down, and I don't know why I'm soloing it, because I can't even hear it anyways. Like usually when I mix stuff, I'll usually solo it, and then I'll unsolo it so I can hear it with everything else, and then I'll solo it again so I can hear it by itself. It's kind of just like a little habit that I've formed, but you know, whatever. So yeah, we have the clap, which should be, you know, pretty relatively close in volume to the 808, but the 808 should probably be the loudest thing. Well, I mean, everybody kind of mixes differently, but I like my 808s to be the loudest thing, because I like my 808s to slap, you know what I mean? Little snare should be probably a little bit quieter, I think, and then the Jessamade rim, I think, should be like quite a bit quieter. Maybe like there is good, and I think the hi-hats should be down a little bit too, so I'm gonna turn the hi-hats down. And then I also don't like when the open hi-hats are panned really far into the right or the left or whatever. And if anything, I think they should be panned more to the left and not the right. You don't really want your open hi-hats to be like slicing through your mix and like being like super loud and in your face. You kind of want to tuck them away a little bit more. The open hi-hats are kind of one of those things that's just like, you know, a little bit of salt and pepper on your, you know, on your main course, you know what I mean? So yeah, we got this going on, and now comparatively to the 808, the melody components are kind of loud. So I'm just gonna turn those down and then see how it's looking. So I think this should be fine. So I know that I want to cut out a lot of the higher frequencies with the harp, because it's probably, you know, somewhat taking up a lot of like higher frequencies, but I guess I did put it lower, so that might be completely wrong, but you know, whatever. I'm just going to do this little thing here, and then that should be probably fine. And then I'm gonna add a bit of reverb, but not like too much reverb. So I'm gonna turn the wet down and then the decay up a little bit. Now these are the strings, I believe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the stereo enhancer, and I usually do this anytime I use strings, because it's kind of just, I don't know, just something that I do. So you go to presets and then 4 strings, and then I don't think you have to do anything after that. And this should be super wide in your headphones if you're using headphones. Now I'm gonna do this. Look at the frequencies a little bit. I think I'm gonna cut out a little bit of the high end, because I usually do that with my strings, and that should be fine. I'll probably add a little bit of reverb on this too, you know, just give everything a little bit of spice, a little bit of sauce. And then this is that Tape X little backup sound that I added, so we're gonna see what the frequencies are looking like on this. Alright, so this is super low, but I think really low frequencies is what the preset that I like has. So this might actually be the right one, I'm not totally sure, but I'm going to cut out a lot of the low frequencies even though it does have those, because you don't want it to clash with the 808. I usually cut out a lot of the low frequencies in my melodies, and some people might argue with that, but you know, whatever. That's just what I do. And then I'm going to add some reverb, you know, just standard procedure. And now for the main course, the entree. I'm just going to make sure that nothing goes past like this little range right here, and then I'm gonna boost this actually a little bit just so it's a little bit like brighter, I guess. And this is still a little bit loud, I think, maybe, but I'm not totally sure. I think I might just boost these all, because I did kind of bring them all down. And then with this one, I'm just gonna add reverb, and that should be good for this, honestly. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of secret sauce onto the 808. And the secret sauce on the 808 actually can be a little bit easy to mess up. So hopefully I'm doing it right. Hopefully I'm not, you know, ruining the whole 808 pattern, but I think it should be fine. Maybe put this, actually I'm just gonna leave the panning as it is because I'm just gonna bank on the panning being fine how it is. So yeah, hopefully this is sounding alright, and I think now the only thing left to do is just lay the beat out, and then we should be done with this one. Well, we also have to, you know, listen to it because we haven't listened to this entire beat. But yeah, so I'm gonna do like this, and I'm gonna start out with the piano, and actually I think I might put a gross beat on the piano at first, so I'm gonna go to the master, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of gross beat, and now I'm gonna do halftime, and then I'm gonna right click, do A, and now put the gross beat like this, and then it's gonna fade out. And then actually I think one last thing I wanna do is I wanna add a crash, and then we're gonna be done adding sounds and stuff. So I like this crash normally, and we're gonna add it in like that, just, you know, pretty standard. And now assign it to a mixer track with Control L. I usually, I think, turn this one up a little bit, so I'm gonna boost it like that, and now I can bring it down in here. And then I'm gonna do reverb, and then decay all the way up. And now I'm just gonna do the strings here, and then all this is gonna come in, and then I'm gonna bring out this, and probably this. Actually, I think I'm gonna do this here, and then I'm going to bring out the open hi-hat, and then I'm gonna bring out the rim, and now I'm gonna copy this over like this, and now I'm just gonna do this like that, and then I'm gonna do that. And then take out this, and I'm gonna actually do make unique and take out all these little rolls here because I just want it to be a two-step pattern for this one. And I think I actually might go like this. I might do a little one of these, a little, you know, bouncy pattern, I guess you could say. All right, so we got the bouncy pattern, and that should be fine there. I'm gonna put it there too, and then change the hi-hat so that it cuts off right there. And then maybe even let's do a little tape stop, get a little adventurous with the transitions, you know the vibes here. And then normally I'll go like that, and then I'll go like that. Press, you know, A to make an automation clip, and now like that. Then I'm gonna put the piano back in, and then do this again, this, just copy this the rest of the way over, and now copy this back over, and add this two-step pattern here. And yeah, honestly, this will probably be good. I'll just do this for a little transition. Actually, I'll put the 808 in here. This will probably be nice sounding maybe. Then I'm gonna also get rid of these, and I'm gonna copy this over, and do it the same here. Then I'm just gonna copy these 16 bars right here, put them over here. Now I'm gonna go to the master, go A, and then do click C, and then click, right click, P, and then drag this one down, and now it should be a little fade out at the end, and that is the whole beat done. So finally, the time has come to listen to what we have created, the monstrosity that we have created. So this honestly, you know, it looks like a pretty normal beat, but I have no idea how the melody or anything is going to sound. That's honestly the part that I'm most worried about. I feel like the drums I'm pretty confident on, but the melody I am not as confident on. And it is time. It is time to listen to what we've created. And I'm going to start from like right here. So let us listen. Ew, why does the 808 sound like that? No, what have I done? The 808 is pitched so low, dude. When did I do that? That's so gross. But that melody's kind of fire, actually, though. Oh my god, I'm so mad at myself, though, that I didn't get that one piece of the puzzle perfect. That's honestly like the one glaring mistake that I made here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take the L on that one. But let's listen to it with the 808 properly. And the whole beat is just a little bit quiet, I think, maybe. But other than that, there's really not too many like big mistakes other than that horrible 808 that I put in there. Honestly, I actually really like that piano melody that I came up with. I don't know how I did that without looking at it, but honestly, that piano melody is really sick, I think. There, that was a dub. I'm gonna give myself a dub for that one. And that right there is 100% the right preset that I was wanting too. But I do have to listen to how this end thing sounds with the strings. That actually sounds good. It matches really well. I figured that would be fine because I did match it up with like kind of how the counter melody was going. So I figured that would sound, you know, like somewhat decent and not like horrible. So let's listen to how the drums sound all together. So I think when I did the little secret sauce in the 808, I did kind of mess it up a little bit. I think the problem was that it needed to be panned a little bit more to the right, which I was a little bit not confident about because I was like, oh, sometimes if I pan it to the right, it doesn't sound good, sometimes it does. So I was kind of just leaning more towards leaving it in the middle. Honestly, besides like a couple little, you know, minor volume tweaks here and there and a little bit of like panning changes, the drums turned out pretty good as well, so I'm pretty proud of that. But yeah, honestly, besides that first little thing at the beginning where the 808 was like an octave lower than it should have been, this beat turned out really good, I think. And I'm pretty surprised with it, but you know, I do know my stuff pretty well. I've been at this for a decent amount of time, so I know kind of like what's gonna sound good based off of like the way it looks and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna give myself a win on this challenge because this turned out a lot better than I expected. I expected the melody to be like all over the place. I expected it to just be like not sounding good at all, but it ended up sounding pretty okay, I think, in the end. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for me in this video. This was my making a beat with no sound, making a beat without listening to it challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was definitely a fun one to make. I enjoy doing stuff like this and stuff like the making a beat in 10 minutes challenge. Just stuff that kind of challenges your skill set and tests your abilities a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with all that other stuff, my playlist of songs I've produced, beat store, all that stuff. Links will be down there. Go check it out. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.
Baby, come follow me. We could go somewhere far.